UFC 279. These are the full card predictions and the betting breakdown. Main event, Khamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. Let's jump into the first fight of the night. Darian versus Yohan Lainesse. I'm going to be going the way of Darian in this fight. Yohan Lainesse has a lot of power in his hands. He moves forward with good pressure. And if he lands a big punch, he can hurt a lot of these guys at welterweight, especially in the back end. But Darian I do see as a guy that's very good shape and going to be able to weather that storm of Lainesse. And what Lainesse has proven to struggle with is the gas tank. He had Gabe Green badly hurt, ends up getting stopped in that fight. Gabe Green comes back and breaks him. I think Darian could end up getting a late stoppage here. Lainesse, I think, will be flat by the third round. Even if Lainesse is up 2-0, which I don't know if he would. I could see him winning the first round, doing damage. If you look, I think middle half of the second round, he fatigues. I'm leaning Darian by third round knockout. That's going to be the pick here, by KO. He doesn't do anything like great, really, but he's durable. He's got a decent gas tank. He puts pressure on his opponents. He's a pretty skilled kickboxer who's athletic, and I could see him hurting Yohan in this matchup. Yohan gets a bit desperate when he's tired. Counter shots will be available. I'm going by knockout. Looking at it, it is -117 for Lainesse plus 115. About even money on both sides for this one. I like for the win to start off the card. Next matchup, Elise and Melissa Martinez. Martinez hasn't fought in so long, 2 years and 8 months. I'm still picking her to win the fight, but it's not my favorite. Elise gotten destroyed by Sam Hughes in the last one. Controversial decision win over Corey McKenna. And then she loses her debut. Terrible beatdown to Sijara Eubanks. Melissa Martinez should probably win. She's got a pretty decent kickboxing / karate-esque style. I like the way that she slips shots. She's pretty decent moving in and out of range. Elise at times does close distance well with straights, but the chin is a bit high. She seems out of position at times. I think Melissa Martinez could touch her up and win this fight, but ultimately, I don't feel supreme confidence on Martinez. It's women's MMA. A lot of the time, it's dog or pass situations. Could be one here. Not a wide line, though. I'm going Melissa Martinez to win by decision in a competitive bout, but Reed is plus money, plus 140. Martinez, best value around -152. It's not one of those go out and bet it now type fights, but I think Melissa Martinez should win it. She should be a little bit crispier standing up. I think she could even land takedowns and control Reed from the top position a bit, but I don't think a ton of damage is done on either side. We're going Martinez to win a decision. Next fight of the night, Anheliger and Alateng Heili. I like Alateng Heili to win by KO. But I do like Anheliger's style. He's got the hands a little bit low. He's fairly slick, closes distance well, big power in his lead hook. Alateng Heili, to me, is more dangerous, and especially because Anheliger is known for keeping those hands a little low, Alateng rips that overhand shot pretty well, and he hits damn hard with it. He just knocked Kevin Kroom out in 17 seconds. I think Anheliger could be a victim to that. Granted, Anheliger's proven pretty durable. He's a decent fighter, man. He's turned his whole career around. He started with a bad losing record and has now turned up. He's in the UFC. I just see him probably getting caught by something big by Alateng Heili, and he might get knocked out here. Could go the full 3, but I'm going to go knockout with Alateng. And also, Anheliger's not young for the bantamweight division. He's already 35, nearly 36, and this is just his second fight inside the UFC, and he's being put in there against a guy who has experience with good competition. Outside the UFC, has fought Casey Kenny, who's pretty good, the draw with Gustavo Lopez, and then the big win over Kroom. I could see Alateng. I think he should win. I'm going to go knockout for him against Anheliger. As far as the odds here, Anheliger is about plus 149 dog. You're getting plus money on him. He has a shot. I just don't pick him. -160, Alateng. We're going with Alateng Heili, the Mongolian Knight, to win against Anheliger. And I think it's going to be a pretty good fight, too. Next fight of the night. Norma Dumont versus Danyelle Wolf. This matchup makes no sense, in my opinion. You have 1-0 Danyelle Wolf versus Norma Dumont, who has experience, but has fought no one. I mean, she's fought good fighters. I don't want to say she's fought no one, but she's fought no one and looked impressive in the wins, I feel. I mean, you look, Felicia Spencer, she beats Ashley Evans-Smith, the Megan Anderson KO TKO loss. I think Danyelle Wolf could find the chin and knock her out. I'm going to ever so slightly lean Danyelle Wolf, and people are going to say I'm nuts for this, but the reason I am going that way is Wolf showed pretty good clinch defense against Tanisha Tennant, who's actually a pretty solid fighter right now, doing fairly well in Invicta. She's on a 2-fight win streak since then. Danyelle Wolf can definitely outbox Norma Dumont. Dumont doesn't bring in great takedowns to get the fight to the mat. I assume Danyelle Wolf is going to be able to fend off a fair amount, if not all of them. If you look at the striking, Wolf is so much better with the boxing. I mean, she's got a ton of amateur boxing matches. She was a national champion in America with amateur boxing. Women's MMA, especially at 145, the skill level is pretty iffy. Norma Dumont's level as far as in the women's bantamweight division, I'd be interested to see how she matches up. You look at her wins, she's not super impressive. She just lost to Macy Chiasson, who's fighting up this card on the main. Danyelle Wolf is as tall about as Macy Chiasson. I could see her keeping the distance. Dumont kind of got dominated and manhandled by the stronger girl Chiasson in the clinch, and we've seen Chiasson controlled in the clinch by like a Raquel Pennington. I think Danyelle Wolf can surprise a lot of people. I'm going Wolf to win, leaning it by KO TKO, but that would be insane because I don't think Danyelle Wolf has ever won a fight by knockout. At least on her amateur record on BoxRec, it doesn't say KO. I'm assuming there's a KO in there somewhere. I'm going to pick Danyelle Wolf. Could end up being one of the worst picks ever, or it could be amazing. I just see her winning the fight. I was looking at these two fighting side by side, and she's just the better striker, and I see her as a competent grappler, at least defensively. Plus 285, Danyelle Wolf, Norma Dumont, minus 305. Norma Dumont should not be minus 305 versus anyone. I know 1-0 versus 7-2 is a big experience gap, but she's not good. She's not that good, at least. She doesn't look great when she fights. We'll go Danyelle Wolf for a major upset. Next fight of the night, Jake Collier and Chris Barnett. I'm picking Jake Collier to win a bit of a sloppy kickboxing match against Chris Barnett, where he's caught with some type of spinning kick to the body. I think Barnett hits him with a spinning back body kick. I don't think he lands to the head. I think Collier will land good low kicks and straight shots. He's proven to be a pretty decent striker. Jake Collier's done well at heavyweight. He was always a decent fighter, even middleweight, light heavyweight, but it's kind of, I think, come together maybe better at a heavyweight. Doesn't cut that weight. He's thick boy now. He's fighting fellow thick boy Chris Barnett, both big dudes. I think that Collier has that range edge, which is going to be a factor. He's not going to be taken down and controlled by Barnett. I could actually see him wearing on Barnett and maybe TKOing him, but that's not going to be the pick. I'm going to go Jake Collier to win a decision. I think he probably outpoints him with the strikes, but you got big boys. Big shots could land, and there could be a knockout. Barnett proven durable for the most part. Jake Collier proven pretty durable too. 265, the cage may break in this fight if they go against it too heavy, because you got over 500 pounds in that octagon for the matchup. I like the fight. I think it'll be fairly entertaining. Chris Barnett, always enjoyable to watch, but Jake Collier should win the fight. I mean, Barnett lost to Martin Boudet, who turned out to be maybe one of the worst heavyweights on the roster after that last performance that he had. Jake Collier, close loss to Andrei Arlovsky. People felt maybe he won that fight. And now he's fighting Chris Barnett. I think he should win here. We're going Jake Collier. As far as the lines, they are insanely wide. Is this Jake Collierov? Because he's getting the line of a fighter from Dagestan. Minus 375 for Jake Collier. He should not be minus 375 versus pretty much anyone in the UFC. I think that's kind of crazy. Barnett, plus 334, best value. They're just making this fight unfucking bettable here. Jake Collier should win, but it's not a fucking wipeout. It's a fight. Collier, the pick, ugly wide line. Next fight of the night, Jamie Pickett and Denis Tiuliulin. I'm going to be picking Jamie Pickett to win. I think the range is a factor. He should fight fairly well from kickboxing range. He's a southpaw too. Tiuliulin, more of a plodding striker who brawls well when he's very close to his opponent. If Jamie Pickett fights smart here, which I do believe he has it in him, moving, maybe clinching a bit, staying away though from the inside fighting too much with Tiuliulin when they're in boxing range and they're exchanging, not near the cage, because that's where Tiuliulin will catch him. An overhand by Tiuliulin, it wouldn't be impossible for him to land. But Jamie Pickett, being as long as he is and using his distance fairly well, I do think could get the win in this fight. The thing is, the chin of Jamie Pickett could be tested here. It's proven to hold up for the most part, which is, confidence on my side of picking him here. I think that he is more versatile striking than a Tiuliulin, who I more see as a bite-down, brawl-type striking style with decent overhand shots. I'm going to pick Jamie Pickett. I do think he gets it done. I am going to say by a decision. Weird fight in the middleweight division, but I actually think it'll turn out to be a pretty decent one. As far as the odds, Pickett minus 127 best value, Tiuliulin plus 118. You got 13-7 versus 10-6. Not great records on either side. Both guys have flaws in their game. I just think Jamie Pickett with the length and athleticism should be a little too much for Tiuliulin here. Next fight. It is Jailton Almeida versus Anton Turkalj. Jailton Almeida is a pick with high confidence. He should dominate this fight. Anton's not a bad grappler, though. You can't write him off with the ground game. He's got good skills controlling opponents. He does have submission ability. He has a stand-up game. He has wins by knockout, but he's a little bit clearly slower and lacking explosiveness as compared to Jailton Almeida, who is a monster. Physical strength up here. I think he's going to outmuscle the hell out of Anton. I see Jailton Almeida on top. Anton getting beat up. I feel like he might last the round, though. I mean, he's still 8-0. The kid's good. He's just being matched up here against Jailton Almeida, who I believe is a monster right now. 220 catch weight. I'll say Almeida to win. I'm leaning it by submission, but if he can't get one under, I think Turkalj will have decent defense. I see Almeida just pounding him out from the top position, kind of a Habib-esque style beatdown on Anton Turkalj. Jailton Almeida for the win. Dominance here. I'm going to say officially KO, TKO, ground and pound. But if he got the submission, it wouldn't surprise me because it's going to be the dominance on the floor, and he probably goes towards the ground and pound if he's unable to lock up a sub on Turkalj. Almeida, minus 671 for the best value. Turkalj, plus 555. Respect him for taking the fight on short notice, but I think the task is far too tall here. 8-0 becomes 8-1. This is a hard fight for him. Next bout is the featured prelim Hakeem Dawodu and Julian Erosa. I'm going Hakeem Dawodu to win, and I think he sleeps Julian Erosa. When you see Erosa fight, the hands are always down. He's there to be hit. Dawodu is super explosive and quick, even though, yes, he hasn't been racking up the knockout wins. You look, win by KO, right, 3 years ago. Since then, he's been winning these fights and losing one to Evloev by decision. Erosa's style, I think, matches up well for Dawodu to get that signature KO. I think he can land big punches here, maybe even a high kick. Erosa's hands are low. He rips shots from very weird angles, which makes him a hard guy to fight, and he does have success standing up, even with this hands-low style. You look back, though, in the career, don't forget, Artem Lobov slept Julian Erosa on The Ultimate Fighter. I'm just saying. Does not matter, but the chin can be cracked here. Hakeem Dawodu has that type of power. That chin is still the same, though Erosa has improved tremendously since then. Dawodu should get the win. I do think by knockout. I think he touches Erosa and puts him down. I'm thinking second or third round, but what you're going to notice is the speed advantage for Dawodu is clear. The technical edge, like the Trezano fight. He had clear advantages in the striking, but Erosa doesn't have that same just technical defense of a Trezano. Erosa's getting stopped. Dawodu for the win, and I'm going knockout. Minus 210 for Dawodu. Erosa plus 215. Hakeem Dawodu. Exciting prospect. I mean, at this point, he's a contender. He's proven, but I like the striking style, and I think there's a great matchup here. Let's jump to the main card. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to smash that like button, and if you're new, subscribe. Johnny Walker versus Ion Cutelaba. I am going to be going with Johnny Walker. Cutelaba is very dangerous in that first round, but he does wear a bit later. Johnny Walker, very dangerous in the first round. Definitely could wear a bit later. When you get two guys that might go crazy early, it's a fucking risky bet on either side. But I think Johnny Walker is definitely the better striker. Even though Cutelaba is a tank, he's going to move forward, throw a lot of power in his shots. I do think he'll probably try to take Johnny Walker down a bit. I could see Walker timing a knee that stuns you on Cutelaba. I could see Johnny Walker hitting him with a powerful wide hook that stumbles Cutelaba against the cage, and then Walker finishes up with big shots. Or I could see Cutelaba controlling the first round, having a good amount of success, but Walker surviving because Cutelaba is not a heavy puncher. Cutelaba is not a powerful puncher. You look at Cutelaba's win over Devin Clark, he wins it by decision. Draw with Dustin Jacoby. You look at the recent loss that Cutelaba had. Who was it against here? It was Ryan Spann, right? Choked out in that fight. Johnny Walker, even though he's Mr. Inconsistency, he's been knocked out, he's been put in spots where he just looks fucking bad, I see him beating an Ion Cutelaba. He has to beat him if he wants to remain relevant in any sense in the light heavyweight division. He's still a tricky-ass striker. He's super long. I think he could get the knockout of Cutelaba here. I guess we'll find out a lot. Johnny Walker's Dog City. This is a guy they used to talk about as being the guy that beat John Jones, and look how far we've seen him fall at 18-7. He's plus 155 against Cutelaba, who's ultimately a top-level gatekeeper. Cutelaba minus 185. Walker plus 178. Dog money, Johnny Walker. I am picking him to win the fight, and I'm going to say by KO in what should be pretty crazy. Next fight, Irene Aldana and Macy Chiasson. You have to, unfortunately, I really want to pick Chiasson, but I can't do it. I gotta pick Aldana, man. I think she's so much more crisp with the boxing. I like Chiasson's range, and she does a good job controlling girls against the cage, but I think she has a hard time controlling an Irene Aldana, who's good in those clinch positions, is a strong girl, quick with the hands, has power. I think she lands more significant strikes on Chiasson. I think it's a pretty decent fight for Aldana. Chiasson controlling in the clinch, right, would be the key to victory here. And that fight against Dumont, that's pretty much all she did. Wasn't a great matchup. Chiasson, as tall as she is, doesn't control range well. I think there's a clear boxing advantage Aldana, which I feel like she'll take advantage of and find success with. I'm going Aldana to win. I'm going to pick her, though, to win a decision here. I hope she lands some big significant strikes, but I don't think she's going to repeat that Kunitskaya knockout. When you look at the Holly Holm fight, Holly Holm just managed that distance so well. Aldana couldn't throw strikes. Chiasson doesn't have that level. I see Aldana being fine in clinch positions and having success. I'm going Aldana to win, but I am going to say by a decision, though she has knockout power. You look at the odds here. Aldana minus 175. Chiasson plus 172 as the dog. I'm riding Irene Aldana to win this ladies matchup. Next fight of the night, Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez. Catchweight 180 is interesting to me. This pick was extremely difficult, but I'm going to go Daniel Rodriguez here. And I feel like I have to. I just have to. From what I'm seeing, I think Daniel Rodriguez is going to have a fight with Kevin Holland. I see it being very competitive. The thing is, Rodriguez being a southpaw, he closes distance fairly well, and he's pretty slick and quick. And you look at his record, he's 16-2. He's got 2 losses, 1 controversial ass decision, 1 early career split. Easily, Daniel Rodriguez could be 18-0 in his professional fighting career. Kevin Holland is a proven vet. He's a tricky style. He's got pretty quick hands. He's got nasty subs. Daniel Rodriguez also has a good Brazilian jiu-jitsu base. He's a 10th planet guy. I don't see him getting submitted here. I have a hard time seeing Kevin Holland hurting Daniel Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez actually brings more punching power, and if Kevin Holland gets cracked by a big shot, could be a problem. Now, of course, we've seen Kevin Holland have success winning by knockout up a weight class, and now this fight being at 180, I think Daniel Rodriguez also being a southpaw is a factor that may throw Kevin Holland for a loop a bit. I know he had success against Tim Means in the last one, but Tim Means is 30 miles slower than Daniel Rodriguez striking. I feel like it's a super competitive matchup. I think Rodriguez might take it on the cards here. You look at Daniel Rodriguez, never been finished before. Kevin Holland, a pretty damn good finisher. I could see him in a super close fight with Rodriguez, and I'm going to pick Rodriguez to edge it out. Overall, though, good matchmaking. Big plus money on Daniel Rodriguez. Right now, he's plus 180. Kevin Holland, minus 186. I have to pick D-Rod. I didn't intend on picking D-Rod, until I started watching the film and I said, shit, I can see him winning this bout. I can see it happening here. I don't see Kevin Holland having success out grappling Daniel Rodriguez. I feel like he's there. Striking, it's going to be super close. I think Rodriguez could crack him with some hard shots, and he's proven tough and durable. We'll go D-Rod for the upset win by decision. Let's talk the co-main event. It is Li Jingliang, a.k.a. Leech, versus Tony Ferguson. This could be the Ferguson farewell. Oh, I have to pick the Leech. I hate picking the Leech. I want to pick Tony Ferguson. I have to pick the Leech. His kickboxing is dangerous. His hands are fucking powerful. He has great hooks. He closes distance well. You look at the knockout wins. Yes, he's trading wins and losses, but look at the guys he's losing to, though. Like, you can't fully shame him here. You got 7 feet tall Neil Magny, and that was 2.5 years ago, and you got Khamzat Chimaev, the scariest guy in the weight class. Tony Ferguson right now, out of his prime, I believe, nearly 40, right? He's 38, so I don't want to say nearly 40, nearly 39. He's on a 4-fight losing streak. He's been knocked out 2 of the 4. Dominated against Charles Oliveira on the floor, and then loses to Beneil Dariush also. The Leech is going to test him in the striking. The Leech has the takedown defense, I think, as well. The hips, the explosiveness, the physical prime. Tony Ferguson just 3 months ago got flatline knocked out by Michael Chandler. You put him up in this fight, I'm concerned the chin is not going to be 100% recovered. 3 months? He's taking a lot of damage, man. I think you're going to see the Leech get the KO. I think he'll sleep him in the 2nd or 3rd round. I don't want to see it. I would love to see Tony Ferguson triangle choke Leech and upset the world here. And we got Tony Ferguson back in the mix somehow at welterweight, because I'd fucking watch him fighting any of these top welterweights. Everybody wants to see it, but we got to be fucking realistic, man. The Leech should beat Tony Ferguson here. It's hard to pick T-Ferg with how he's looked. The chin comes up high. He doesn't have the same reflexes as he once did. He doesn't have the same durability that he once did. He still's dangerous. He dropped Chandler, but let's be honest, Michael Chandler's not known for an iron chin. The Leech is going to sleep him here. Leech by knockout. As far as the lines, Leech is minus 278. Wide favorite. Tony Ferguson plus 260 as the dog. I am riding the Leech, but hoping and praying Tony Ferguson triangle chokes him or some type of submission, some type of win. I don't care if it's a fluke, spinning elbow, knockout, anything. Just give Tony Ferguson the victory, MMA gods. That's what we're all hoping for, but we have to be real here. The Leech should win the fight on paper. The analysis of the matchup is Leech. The fan in me, please give me T-Ferg for the win. And I like the Leech a lot. I think both guys are good personalities. Leech, even though he doesn't have the English, like I love watching him fight. He's a savage. I want to see Tony win, but we're picking Leech. Let's jump to the main event of the evening. Khamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz. If you guys haven't, make sure to smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Listen, the pick is going to be Khamzat Chimaev. Pretty much everybody is going to be picking him. How's he going to get it done? Probably ground and pound and or cut stoppage TKO. Because if he's on top of Nate Diaz and he's dropping shots, bump, especially when he does these odd, front knuckles here, and he starts ripping those type of shots, that Diaz face is going to bleed, man. It cuts like butter. He's going to be leaking a ton. There's going to be brutal ground and pound. It might even have the ref stop the fight earlier than it would just by how bloody the mat might be. Nate Diaz, yes, he does have the jiu-jitsu base. I think Khamzat Chimaev's top pressure and ground and pound will be a lot too much for him. Even if he's just in the half guard beating up Nate Diaz, I don't see Nate throwing up a ton of sub attempts. I have a hard time seeing Nate tap Khamzat Chimaev, especially in the first 2 rounds. If Nate Diaz were to win this fight, I think it would be late. It would be Chimaev tries to kill him in the first round or 2, starts fading in 3-4, and then Nate Diaz somehow rear naked chokes him. If Diaz wins, I see it by rear naked choke against an absolutely exhausted Khamzat Chimaev that went out and blasted Nate with everything he had and ran his gas tank bar to absolutely 0. That's the only way Nate Diaz wins the fight. I highly doubt that happens. You look at Khamzat Chimaev striking, I do believe he competes with Nate Diaz, but you can't go out there trying to knock Nate Diaz out. You look at Conor McGregor and their matchup, I mean, he got tired trying to sleep Nate Diaz, having success early. Nate Diaz has got an iron chin, and even, you know what, not even necessarily an iron chin, right? It's not like he doesn't get knocked down. It's just his recovery is insane because the guy is in the craziest shape. I mean, he's a 10-round fighter, forced to fight 5 rounds. Khamzat Chimaev should TKO him, ground and pound kind of, or doctor stoppage, I'm thinking. I think the cuts will be a big problem. But Nate Diaz will be prepared for war. I want to see what happens between these two. I think it's honestly really fun matchmaking. A lot of people feel like, hey, it doesn't necessarily make sense for Khamzat. He just beat Gilbert Burns, but it's Nate Diaz on the resume. Why wouldn't you want that? It's a huge fight. And now you look at his most recent loss, you can't shame the guy. Leon Edwards, champion of the world. Before that, cut stoppage against Masvidal for the BMF belt. Nate Diaz is still in the mix. And with a win here, Nate Diaz is right in line for a title shot, which is crazy. But Khamzat's going to beat him. Let's look at the lines because they're unplayable. Minus 1,000 is the best value on Chimaev. Diaz plus 1,000 as the dog. Khamzat's going to win the bout. As I said, Nate's only shot. Somehow getting Khamzat so tired from just pulverizing him and then rear naked choking him. Khamzat Chimaev for the win. UFC 279 going down on Saturday. I'll be live for the whole card, so make sure you tune into this show. I'd say it's a pretty decent card. I would say B+ level, for me at least. I don't know. Some people might feel it's a little worse than that, but I like the matchups. I like the card, and I think the main event is going to be a lot of fun, as with pretty much every fight on the main card, even the freaking prelims. Good action. Smash the like button. Much love, my people. If you're new, subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications too. If you really enjoy the content, share the video. Drop a W in the chat if you don't have anything to say, but definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think of the picks. Much love. Thank you all so much. Content dropping pretty much every day of the week, so stay tuned. I will see you all in the next one. Peace, everybody.